In '95, I was sitting there as a 12-year-old boy, seeing Joel Stransky kick that drop kick over, seeing Nelson Madela walk out there in that number 6 Springbok jersey, and I saw Francois Pienaar lift up a trophy with this iconic legend and say, it wasn't for the 65,000 in the stadium, it was the 48 million South Africans, and you just see how it brings people together, it breaks down socio-economic boundaries like nothing can do.
Having watched on in awe in 1995 as one rugby team inspired a whole nation, Bryan Habana himself went on to star in the 2007 Rugby World Cup, adding his own chapter to the South African success story.
They're about to become world champions.
Now, as a Laureus ambassador, he continues the theme of hope across the Laureus Sport for Good initiatives around the world that instill a sense of inspiration for generations to come, including inspiring one kid from Kraaifontein to leave his own mark.
So I grew up in Cape Town, a community called Scottsville. It's in Kraaifontein. It's known for just taking the easy route up because the younger kids go to school, they come back, the first thing they see it's drugs, it's gangsters. I was raised by parents that also never had things easily, but they laid out a foundation for me to make sure that I can have to make something out of nothing.
It is a credit to Kolbe and his upbringing that he managed to sidestep the social ills of a rough neighbourhood and eventually rose to become one of the darlings of the nation in the 2019 Rugby World Cup.
Here comes Cheslin Kolbe. Kolbe bounces towards the fence, beats one, still going. Cheslin Kolbe, South Africa, the World Cup is theirs.
For me, I want to change the whole philosophy of where I grew up in my community.
His is a story of perseverance and another glittering illustration of the power of sport in changing lives. Now Kolbe wants to be an inspiration for others to follow in his dancing footsteps.
And for myself, all the challenges that I've faced, being criticized of being too small, the challenges has always been there, but I think I've used that definitely to prove people wrong, to use that negative energy and create it into a positive. I want to be the child in our family that can have a positive impact into a lot of younger kids out there. For us as rugby players and what we achieved and what people look up to, I think we have that burden of responsibility, the advantage to go out and give advice, show them that, listen, what you think is the best way to go, it's not.
The success of Kolbe and the class of 2019 in Japan is just the latest chapter in the never-ending novel of optimism and hope through sport of a fledgling new South African nation. A rugby match may only last 80 minutes, but the inspiration and hope that is planted by each of these iconic series, such as the Lions Tour, can last forever. Hope is something that the world needs now more than ever as we grapple with a global pandemic. It is a cornerstone of the Laureus Sport for Good initiatives around the world. It is also the inspiration behind the Lions Series Legacy Fund, which helps to continue to touch lives even after the final whistle has been blown on the 2021 series.